Okay, let me do a retake. My dumb ass forgot to add this shit. I'm so sorry, y'all. Retake, edit one. Yeah, I'm live. I'm doing a live edit. What's going on, y'all? This is finally Let's Draw on Something, episode 23. It took me long enough, and I do apologize. This is Craig L. Smith II, born and raised in the 773, relocated to the 901. Put up a lot of shit in the 256, and now I've returned to 662. Y'all know how I do. I'm normally joined by my co-host, Jimmy McWright of the Jimmy JSmoove Network, who was born and raised in 901. Now he's representing the 832, and he and a whole lot of changes have come up anew. So y'all know how he do. He'll fill us in on that. Once again, if nobody caught it before, I'll say it again. Let's Draw on Something has been brought to you in part by Custom Designs. There's nothing he cannot customize. If you need NBA, NFL, MLB, MLS, FIFA, family reunion shirts or whatnot, hit my boy up, Trey Murphy. He's on Facebook at Trey Murphy, and hit him up at his phone number if he knows how to answer it at 901-364-3698. That's 901-364-3698. Also, I'm gonna throw in a promo plug. Mention and if he doesn't mind, and he may cut you a nice deal depending on what kind of customer you is. 49ers Gold. That's the promo. That's my promo code for him. 49ers Gold. And he may cut you a little something special. It depends on how he is. But he's a good guy. Hit him up for all your customizing needs. That's my boy Trey Murphy, Trey Styles Custom Designs at 901-364-3698. Also, let me send some shout outs along the way to my girl, the Sherb, if you will, Miss Sherbet Ratliff, who has two, not one, but two hair cares, hair care salons in Memphis. With her main one being the Sherbet Ratliff Professional Hair Care, and I forgot, and Limitless Naturals. Yes, I forgot. It's been so long since I have been online, y'all. So I do apologize, Sherb. So to all you ladies out there, if you tired of your hair being short and nappy, go to my girl Sherbet Ratliff. She will be guaranteed to make it happy. Consultation and any style that you need it done. Sherbet Ratliff will make sure your natural is limitless, has limitless potential. So go holler at my girl, the Sherb, if you will. Also to my girl, a city candle maker, Miss Angelica Burks Henley. And there's a saying, y'all, about if fine wine doesn't get better with age. She's it. She is it. Her beauty is immortal. Her beauty has that registered R trademark to it. So hit her up for all your scented candle maker needs. She's on Instagram and she's not hard to find. But we got a loaded show. I have a loaded show, but I may have to bulk the wing of everything. As y'all know, everybody's favorite show, The Boondocks, has returned. It's just been reported that HBO Max has picked up, has ordered 2 seasons of the Boondocks episodes. And looking at the new art, man, it's looks pretty good. The first art was pretty good. First art was pretty cool, and that's how I got my little borrow some little aspects of that and from for all my drawings and stuff. But I'm really excited about the Boondocks coming back, but not but sadly it's not on Cartoon Network. It's going to be on the HBO Max channel, and I'll have to download my HBO Max um, in order for me to see it. So, and it's going to be coming out fall of next year. So, look, I'm glad that Boondocks is coming back, man. And I think that last season, when Cartoon Network caught itself, when Cartoon Network caught itself trying to buy the rights of it, was on there. It was just some pure garbage. I like the animation of it, but just some of the stories on there, it was just some pure freaking garbage. And it lets you know that when you let people, I'm not trying to spout the race card here, when you let other folks write your product, it's gonna suck. And it's just best that the creator write their own stuff. in my opinion. That applies not just with animation, and with me being an artist and the creator, I have something coming in the works called the Sentinels. So I already trademarked that. Um, so can't nobody use that. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for the Boondocks to be coming back, and look forward to see how HBO Max holds up that little. I'm glad Boondocks is back. No relation. Also, let me fill in everybody on the topics I want to talk about. I addressed the Boondocks thing. I said I have a change of heart in regards about the Cowboys somewhat. Fan questions in regards about with QBs and different QBs and quarterbacks and stuff today. Also, I'm going to talk about whether if Big Ben and Drew Brees should hang it up because they suffered some injuries in week 2 in the NFL. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that. As y'all know, Steelers fans, Steelers Nation, Big Ben has to have season-ending elbow surgery. So he's gonna be out for the season. I don't know who the Steelers backup is. So, depending on how the Steelers team will adapt to the new backup, they might have a chance to make the playoffs. Might. I really think it was time for Big Ben to hang it up anyway because I mean, let's face it, and my co-host will tell you, Jim McWright, he well, he has a little disdain for Tom Brady, but I got to give it to him. Tom Brady, he just turned 42 years old, and all in these cats like Big Ben trying to beat like Tom Brady. But Big Ben with his height and everything, he's injury prone. He done had numerous amounts of injuries, concussions, knee ligaments popping off the hinges of his bone of his kneecap and stuff like that. I mean, it's time to hang it up. I mean, big bro. Okay, Big Ben has can hang with the best of them. I mean, his time. The game has simply passed him by, and I really think it's the Steelers' fault because they drafting quarterbacks and everything, and then from what I hear, Big Ben has been politicking to get rid of them. Like they recently traded Josh Dobbs. And I really don't care too much for Josh Dobbs as a quarterback either. Looking at his time in Tennessee, because of how how he would talk to people, how he would talk with the to the media and stuff like that, and people in general. And also, he came from the as my boy Jimmy, and also shout out to Corey Wolf, as he came from the Bitch Jones offensive system, where you had your white where he had Jalen Hurd, not Hurts, Jalen Hurd, that's Hurd, who had him starting as a fucking running back. So then when he gets down to Baylor, he cuts up. But I don't even know if Jalen Hurd is in the NFL now. But man, that the Steelers should have pulled the trigger in trading Josh Dobbs. I don't know who they traded him for, but that was a bad mistake. And then when they had Mason Rudolph, and from what I was understanding, Mason Rudolph was basically outshining Big Ben, and Big Ben pulled that whole card. And now, Mason Rudolph, if any Steelers Nations fan is on here, please tell me if he's still there or not. If Mason Rudolph is still there or not. Um, Steelers is gonna have to start draft for the future because Rudolph and Josh Dobbs, they were the second and third string for Big Ben's, and then now you get rid of them. Now you get rid of Josh Dobbs. So I mean that loss is gonna be on them. If they don't make it to the playoffs, it's not Tomlin's fault. You have to look at the bad drafting. If they didn't get the quarterback ready, if they didn't get quarterbacks ready, and then plus, Big Ben need to stop making all these, making pulling all this little this political pull and all this other little shit. So wish him well on a speedy recovery from his season in the elbow surgery, and it sucks. So, and if this isn't a reminder that he needs to sit his ass on down and enjoy his family, his wife and 2 kids and whatnot, then I don't know what is. Now, as far as Drew Brees go, I mean, he hasn't had a major injury since he broke his shoulder in San Diego and came down to New Orleans, and the rest is history. Now they said something about he suffered a hand injury. My phone. Now they said he suffered a major hand injury. So don't know the timetable on him. I don't think he should hang it up at all. He shouldn't, because he's at the prime of his career as well. Well, because he just turned 40 this year. So I think Drew has 2 more years in him, and he'll go ahead and call it a quits. Because I really think if he has to mess around and have season in the surgery, then the Saints have to depend on Teddy Bridgewater. I have nothing against Teddy Bridgewater, but but you gotta have Teddy got to be ready to be in the spotlight. And from what I've seen from his in that brief with that brief cup of coffee, the brief cup of coffee starts in that Raiders game. I mean Raiders in that Rams game, he really isn't ready. He's rushing and everything. And what New Orleans is running, they run one of the best pro spread style fun and gun offenses in the league, bar none. So I think it's more time for Big Ben to hang it up rather than it's for time for Drew Brees to hang it up. So it is what it is on that. Jalen Hurts. I've really been enjoying about an Oklahoma fan. I'm not. But Jalen Hurts has impressed me, and it's like he's comfortable now. So in 3 games, and you may say, oh, he ain't played against nobody. True. He's got 12 touchdowns already. No interceptions. I think Nick Saban did do a good thing and letting him just transfer, graduate from school, then he transferred. And this offense that Lincoln Riley is running is one of the best, bar none. It's quarterback friendly. He doesn't handicap his quarterbacks like Saban and other guys do, and who else? Any defensive coach does, man. We're mainly offensive coaches too, like Gus Malzahn. But I've been impressed lately with Jalen Hurts. I mean, 12 touchdowns, no interceptions. And, he's in a conference where they don't play defense. And that's the Big 12. And no, Trey Murphy, it's not the Pac 12, it's the Big 12. So don't sit up and say, but the Pac 12 don't play no defense either. You want to bet? You ain't watched none. You probably haven't watched a good Pac 12. You haven't probably haven't watched a Pac 12 game in a good while. The Pac 12 is some teams in the Pac 12 that plays some damn good defense. Damn good defense. It's the Big 12, so you got it mixed up. But I'm waiting to see on the first Saturday of October how Jalen Hurts do against Texas. And I'm not a fan of Texas at all. But last year they won me. They won me a nice little piece of change last year, as I predicted that they would beat Oklahoma. Excuse me. And so hopefully we'll see. So Texas Tech will probably be a warm up for Jalen Hurts against Texas. So he should have no problem destroying that offense, that defense. Um, what other news you got to talk about? Oh, this just said that I had a change of heart about the Cowboys. Now, mind you, and this is somewhat. And first of all, I'm not a Cowboys fan at all, so don't get it twisted by saying, "Oh, you admit you're an undercover Cowboy fan." Hell no, I'm Green Bay, so I am not a Cowboys fan at all. Um, I've noticed that they finally got rid of Scott Linehan, offensive coordinator, and they got Kellen Moore calling plays now. And from looking at this offense, it's pretty good, but Dak needs to learn to calm the fuck down in that pocket. You got 4 coaches, okay? Because Jason Garrett, he's a coach. He was offensive coordinator, and he was a quarterback himself. Now he's the head coach. Kellen Moore was a quarterback for Boise State with Chris Peterson. Now he's offensive coordinator. Then you got John Kitna, who played with the Cowboys for a minute. Then he played with the Lions and is now quarterback coach with the Dallas Cowboys. And Doug Nussmeier, who's the offensive coordinator for Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh up in Michigan. And he's a tight ends coach, and he was also a former quarterback. So you got four former quarterbacks on that offensive staff that know their shit. So it should not be any excuse for Dak to have at least a 3,500-yard passing season. If he doesn't, then he's full of shit. So and his real name is Dakota. So I'm gonna call him by his nugget name, Dakota Prescott should not have no excuse to have a productive season as a quarterback. And what the Cowboys are running is a homage is what Chris Peterson ran at Boise State, and a little bit of some Tom Landry flavor as well. I like it. I like that offense. And before Scott Linehan became the full-time offensive coordinator, Dez Bryant's best 3 seasons when he had two straight 1,400-yard seasons, and then he had a 1,500-yard season. He was several yards away from hitting 1,600. That was the best, and this is all went under Tony Romo under center. Those are Dez's best years. But then when Linehan got the reins of it, Dez's Dallas's career was the shits. And Scott Linehan never wanted to own up to the fact that he fucked Dez off from talking about is my way or the highway. Um, with that offensive system. So now with Jason Garrett, and it's basically for what I've seen what Kellen Moore is running, it's a mix of what Jason Garrett ran back in 2008. Hold on a sec. Let me get you and take these 2 bags to the garbage for me. My bad, y'all. The offense is a mix of what Jason Garrett ran back in 2008 when the Cowboys put up a whole lot of points. To what and a mix of Chris Peterson. So I'm not gonna, not gonna say, not gonna rule out they're gonna, and no, y'all not Super Bowl bound, so don't get it twisted. Y'all are just about as delusional as watered down gasoline. That's how you Cowboy fans' brains work. So y'all are not gonna go to Super Bowl. Every time y'all say y'all go to Super Bowl, y'all end up on the short end of the stick. But remember what happened at Cowboy Stadium when Aaron Rodgers and the kicking game took y'all out. So, but I think Dallas will have a good they'll have a good season, and he and like I said, and Dak is gonna have to improve on a lot of things. So with that being said, because like I looked at one game against the Giants, he's rushing his throws. He's not getting his feet set on the easiest and simple plays that could give like 81 to 75-yard touchdown passes. He's not setting his feet, but let it be some of his element of RPO. He's straight. So that gonna have to improve his footwork, not rushing and taking the time, you know, having him take some time out so he can get his feet set and whatnot instead of just rushing. Because when you rushing and you throw, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna lead to interception or incomplete. So I see my boy Jim McBride give. So I've seen a lot, and then it's a mix of the running game as well. So it's a mixture. It's basically a multiple offense. It's give like a whole lot of multiple looks and shifting. So and I think the Cowboys will make the playoffs, the bar the fact that they suffer a catastrophic injury. Somebody does, but we'll see. I mean, we're already 2 games. It's 2-0. We can't guarantee them saying the Super Bowl. My Packers are 2-0, and I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl. We'll have to wait and see how. We'll have to wait and see out. We'll have to wait and see out how the season goes. Um, we also had some. We also had some old fan questions. I'm gonna go ahead and answer one because I got my phone here pulled up. This comes from This comes from Big Mike in Horn Lake, Mississippi, and the title is called Quarterback Quarterbacks. Really, it's a good title. And he said, "Hello, Craig. Hello, Jimmy." Said, "I've been listening to you guys' recent back episodes of podcasts, and your boy Jimmy has been very vocal about the quarterbacks as well as you. What I think is wrong with today's quarterbacks is this: they're just lazy. They don't want to sit in the film study. They don't want to sit through film study. They don't want to learn fundamentals. Their brain is programmed. The first thing they do, they have a ball, they drop back and start running, and have big dreams about the NFL. Damn, that's harsh. What do you think is wrong with today's quarterbacks? Is it the coaches or is it them?" Let me see what else he said. I'm reading that wrong. I cut to the nitty gritty on it, but he said other few little things. But I'm gonna go ahead and dwell on that one. It's more of apples and oranges. It really depends on who the quarterback, Big Mike. It really depends on who the quarterback is and who the quarterback coach is as well, and who the offensive coordinator is. And Jimmy said it best. It all falls on really the head coach. It starts at the top of the food chain. The head coach, then offensive coordinator, and then your quarterback's coach. If you got a good quarterback coach, good offensive coordinator, and a good head coach, but your quarterback's brain is like gasoline. You couldn't program his ass to help a flea propel around a raindrop. Then your offense is gonna fucking suck. It's more on the quarterback's demeanor. I've seen quarterbacks, and not saying names. I've seen some quarterbacks in the past that are just fucking lazy. It's targeted about with black quarterbacks. No, don't get me wrong. Hey, you had some black quarterbacks that had some cannon arms. Warren Moon, Steve McNair. Uh, Here's a Raiders favorite, old man Vince Evans. Shout out to Vince Evans, by the way. He's still around. Who's 62 this year. Um, he was the guy that I said that made Jay Schrader look bad. When Jay Schrader was sucked, Vince Evans would come in first play, boom, first down. First play, boom, first down. Second play, he's taking off running, gets them a first down plus some. Then the other play, touchdown. It's all about the quarterback, and it's not targeting whites and blacks in this matter issue about quarterbacks. It's all on them. And Jimmy J had once said it on his show. It all starts from the source. It starts from several different sources. If your head coach, your quarterback coach, and your offensive coordinator is good, but your quarterback make your offense look like shit, look at him. If your quarterback is good, but your head coach is good, and your offensive coordinator and your quarterback coach is shit, who you gonna look at? Your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator. And then about them being in film study, it's all part of the classroom. Coaches today, they're in more way, shape, or form, they're teachers. You look at the pros. You have some folks. It's like the pros. That's a job. That's a 6 to 7, 8 figure gig job that they have. Some of them, and let's be real, some of them feel that like, I'm a grown ass man. What a grown ass man look like teaching me something? You gonna have to learn to film something to film somewhere. You went to school. You went to elementary school. You went to high school. You went to college. You had to learn something. It all starts with the film study, aka classroom. Because if your quarterback couldn't excel in the classroom as far as on a football standpoint, what that lets you know about him as far in overall classroom. Look at Kyler Murray, and that was true, and that's true. Kyler Murray never delved into film study, and he never paid attention to film study. Don't know how he was in the overall classroom, but that was the knock on Kyler Murray, in which they said in some cases, some sources in Oklahoma, unnamed players said that was true about Kyler Murray. He always skipped out on film study. He would show up for a minute and he was gone. So that's the problem that it is with quarterbacks today. A guy I used to work with by the name of Ken, if he's still out there, shit. He said, really? And it's really a good quote. It's really a good concept. It's the other fundamentals that count about what makes a quarterback. Footwork, the ability to read defense. And he said it best. If he was a defensive coordinator, if he already know that the opposing offense is like to look back, drop back, and start taking off running, he gonna tell the defense to knock him on his ass. Straight up. And he was like, and I remember what Kenneth said, he was like, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm gonna tell my players, knock him on his ass until he can keep me honest. He got to learn how to start defense honest. I ain't gonna let him make a fuck out of me by just constantly just running. He gonna have to throw it. So that's more of a basis. Damn, I got to send Jimmy hold on, y'all. I gotta send him the link. Okay, give me a second, y'all. Trying to send him something. So that's really also has been the issue. You had, as opposed to where quarterbacks back then they were willing to learn in the film room. You just had some others that just sucked. And also, let's also add another honorable mention. It'd be the head coach because of the system he want to run. Don't know. I'd rather for a quarterback to learn two-syllable word play call, like 2022 Chico stick. They already know what that is. I don't know what's going on, Marcus. Salute. Um, I don't want my quarterback to, if I'm a head coach, I'd rather for him to learn my verbiage of, look, 21 Chico stick or 31 Raisin Brand. I'd rather for him to know that than for him to know uh trips left 31, zipper Q, YXZ, slot choice, Jimmy Slam. I've said that plenty of times, and I've said that again. The verbiage, and some of these coordinators, some of these coaches need to learn to tone down their verbiage. Like Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers even said that's some of the most wordiest, all the words in that offense is the most is the he has the most wordiest offense there ever is. So, and Aaron just said, you know what, fuck it, I already know what this is. And he just simplifies it. Matt LaFleur doesn't like that. You know, Coaches got to start letting the players have the freedom to call an audible and just to shorten all that shit. That's also what makes a quarterback be lazy a little bit, but that's like being lazy with good reason. Don't nobody want to know all that shit. I rather tell my quarterback, hey, 22 trips left 22 Chico stick. That's it. Or I type right I type right 21 slam it. That's it. It's just something simple. I'm not gonna have them go utilize all that word shit. That's not a rite of passage. That'll fuck a quarterback up, you know. But yeah, Big Mike. That hope that answers your question there. Jimmy's having an issue getting onto the link, but yeah, and you like look at Lamar Jackson right now. Greg Roman was so fucking stubborn he didn't want to change that offense, but now all of a sudden in 2 games, Lamar passing his ass off. Baltimore just had to give in on that offense. So it is what it is on that. I also want to talk about some little real talk here. Who get ready to join in? Also get ready. Talk some real talk here. And if this Jimmy joining me, he's going to probably the speed, or he'll been caught up to speed of what's been going on. Man, I've been been at my little job now for what's it, September, and I got hired back in April, May, June, July, August. Been at my job going on for 5 months now, and and man, woo, it what I'm being paid to do in the job I do. I really just can't deal with certain customers, and then with certain people. I say customers, they're people. Can't deal with certain people, or let alone can't deal with the with a lot of with all a lot of little various little changes and stuff going on. So I'm gonna be looking for something new. But man, the point I want to get to is this. It seems that my job doesn't believe in communication, or the freedom of choice, if you will. Okay, now several weeks ago, and I never filled in anyone on this. I didn't get a chance to fill it in on Jimmy show. Um, Several weeks ago, I was off 4 days. Okay, so what's this? This is we're in the 15th, 18th, 15th. On the 8th, you know, when I last saw the schedule that I was supposed to be working, that I was off on the 8th, which is a Sunday. So when I check it again the following day, I was supposed to be working. Now, listen to all this fuck shit. So I calls my manager, and to make a long story short, get to the point, I calls my manager and I tell him, I said, hey, hey, with me not working that Sunday that I didn't know about us working, I'm not fond about you letting us work, let me work on Saturday. That's because could have made it up on Wednesday. Because my off day is Wednesday and Saturday. So I was told him, hey, I was cool with you. I wouldn't mind working Wednesday because to my recollection, you had 4 days. You had 4 days. You had four. You you had four people. What's going on, dude?
Man, nothing much, man, dude. Shit. This computer was acting at ass. So, yeah. And then it's already storming. So it's probably the weather came into a factor because we supposed to have like a tropical storm warning coming in from Houston. So, look like I'm going to be off a couple of days anyway. So what's popping and what's dropping with you over there in Memphis, though?
Man, not much, man. I was just winging it with you because I was just talking about I was addressing the Big Ben and Drew Cool Brees situation. Should them guys hang it up? But if you want to go back on that, man,
Uh, well, both of those guys are well. I know Big Ben is approaching 40 because I remember when he first came to the NFL. So he definitely, with all the injuries that he's accumulated and possibly CTE, I think he needs to hang it up. Drew Brees, I said Brees. Drew Brees should hang it up as well. I think when you get injured after 40, 38 years old, I think it's time for you to hang it up. I think Drew Brees could probably play for another 2 more years on a good note because he is one of the all-time leading touchdown leaders. But I wouldn't chance if I was him.
great thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy J Smooth just joined us, so we may be backtracking a bit. So if we do apologize, and like he said, he had some computer issues and shit like that because Houston is expecting some severe weather.
Mm-hmm.
But I will go back and tell the story about my job in a minute. Hey, we had a fan question, man, from Big Mike about the quarterback situation, and I think we did answer something like this before. We talked about something like this. Matter of fact, we talked about it on my show about
Yes, sir.
the quarterbacks today. He wanted to know his take about why was quarterback. What is wrong with today's quarterbacks, whether it's high school and college set, are they just lazy? So I don't know if you heard my breakdown of it, but you can get your take about that.
A lot of offensive coordinators, either one or two things. they do to some of these quarterbacks. They either systemize the quarterback until he's handicapped, or they don't teach him how to audible out of great situations, because you got quarterbacks that could throw the ball like a motherfucker but can't audible work for damn and get himself out of a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that happens with a lot of quarterbacks, particularly mainly black quarterbacks don't know how to audible. Mainly, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I'm not saying all, but a good portion of them don't know how to audible. If you look at the NFL right now, a lot of these guys do not know how to audible. And you got some white quarterbacks that can't audible either. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of them is black quarterbacks. And then they do too much systemizing these quarterbacks and stuff like that. Keep them on the leash. There are exceptions to the rules. Like Russell Wilson, he got the ability to do whatever the fuck he wants to. So he's an exception to the rule. But for the most part, most of the black quarterbacks that's currently in the NFL, they can't audible worth shit. You know what I'm saying? In particularly black quarterbacks, not all, you know what I'm saying? So, another thing is, again, with them being systemized, a lot of those quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, they get too impatient as well. That's another issue in itself. You know what I'm saying? Guys try to, you know what I'm saying, guys don't go to their check downs. That's another thing they don't do. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these offenses, when they come out of college, especially when you're coming out of a spread system or a air raid system, you're not really reading the defense. It's the wide receivers that's really reading the defense for you. So therefore, as a quarterback, you just don't have to do much of any goddamn thing, because that's all air raid is. Air raid is really based on what the corner is playing, and the wide receivers is doing more of the reading than the actual quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So the wide receivers is actually doing the job of the quarterbacks. So let's say if a cornerback is playing man-to-man coverage, a wide receiver can do one or two things. He can run a quick slant, or he can run a go route. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he's playing off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He's playing off coverage.
Jimmy, wait a minute. I mean, because y'all, Jimmy McBride did his film study. Go on.
You know what I'm saying? If he's playing off a little bit, he can use a out route or a quick hitch route. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the corner does not jump the route and shit like that. So that's basically what air raid is. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Air raid has been in existence in the 1980s, but guys really didn't really fuck with it like that. You know what I'm saying? Until like in recent years, the last probably 20 years, I'm saying. And I'm just throwing a hypothetical number out there and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's another issue. Too many air raid systems and too many similar systems. Because if you notice in the NFL now, even though I haven't been perpetually watching the NFL, there's not a lot of West Coast offense in the NFL no more. You want to know why? Because a lot of the West Coast offenses became too predictable, because everybody that got a head coaching job from the San Francisco 49ers, which the majority of the guys from the 49ers end up becoming head coaches. A lot of those assistants that was head coaches from arguably 1980 on down to probably 1991. Those guys at some point in the NFL became a head coach or became an offensive coordinator, whether they was a defensive guy or they was an offensive guy. And all of them ran that West Coast offense. And what Dick LeBeau did, along with Dom Capers, they came up with the zone blitz. So with that zone blitz, you know what I'm saying? If you're not a Joe Montana-like quarterback, or if you're not good at audibling, you're going to get exposed in that particular zone blitz scheme, because you don't know how to check down and pick up the blitz at all. So as you notice in today's NFL, you don't see a lot of West Coast offense. At best, you may see an Eric Coryell-like offense if you've been watching the NFL, but you don't see the outright West Coast offense that was made famous by the late Bill Walsh and shit like that. So
okay, let me stop you there. I really think the closest of that style offense you're gonna get, but it does have some Steve Spurrier trademarks, is Sean Payton. down in New Orleans. I've seen. Hey, he's been running some fun and gun as of late. Why? Hey, because you can't deny. Because if he was running the West Coast, you know, I ain't gonna say it's more like he has a multiple offense, but it's really hard to say what it is. But I gotta say it's more like a Steve Spurrier because Drew Brees wouldn't be breaking his own fucking records. I
Yeah.
don't think nobody can duplicate that offense. And I'm not a Madden player, but I know a lot of guys that play Madden. They abuse the shit out that playbook,
And
and that's a
and I,
damn good playbook.
and we were talking about Sean Payton, who came from basically Bill Parcells' last head coaching job. So he does have a Earhart Perkins like system in place, but he kind of used different offensive schemes to go along with that Earhart Perkins, but it's more of a throw oriented than it is an actual running game. Because if you notice, Drew Brees typically does not have what you call a reliable running back for the most part in that particular offense. So it's more pass oriented than anything. But because like when he had Tony Romo, when he was the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, when he had Tony Romo was a better quarterback under Sean Payton. And when Sean Payton ended up becoming the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when Tony Romo, at the end of the game became Tony Oh no. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, he fumbled again. That's when he
It's when
started.
I see Tony. Oh no.
Because look at Tony Romo the first 3 years at Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Even though he had his fuck ups in his first 3 years, he was a better quarterback under Sean Payton as the offensive coordinator. Now he did some good things with what's the current head coach got coach name? I can't think. Jason Garrett. I'm sorry. He did some good things statistically under Jason Garrett, but Sean Payton had that boy right when he was the offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that in particular.
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, now I was responding back. Yeah, man. I answered. I said some things. I said, it all depends on what you mean by being lazy. I broke it down to him. I said you can have a good ass quarterback on your team, but you know, and you can have a good ass quarterback and good ass head coach, but your offensive coordinator and quarterback coach will suck a whole lot of ass. Whereas whereas with the former, you got three good ones, but your quarterback just sorry as fuck, don't want to fucking learn. Like a
Exactly.
DeAndre, like I'm gonna go ahead and say it, like a DeAndre Francois. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
shocking, ain't it? That dude didn't want to learn. He didn't have no good pocket presence because he got exposed. Matter of fact, he got exposed. Let's travel back in time, shall we? To back in late August of 2016, when
Right.
Florida State played Ole Miss. Ole
Yeah.
Miss had these fools down by 20 some points. DeAndre Francois got exposed like a motherfucker because Ole Miss defense was mixing it up, running man and zone.
Right.
His Francois' mechanics is fucking off. You
Yeah.
know, and his footwork was lacking. And when you watch that game, he had so many dudes wide open, and it just goes to show the inexperience. And then, matter of fact, I'll do you one better. When Alabama put the hurt to his ass, he
Yeah.
really got exposed in.
Exactly.
So he's up in Hampton doing his thing right now. So DeAndre Francois is a prime example of a quarterback that doesn't have, like I said, by my old co-worker at FedEx, shout out to him. He said by the name Kenneth. He said, if you ain't got the fundamental, if a quarterback ain't got none of the fundamentals, the footwork, the or as he put it best, the ethics, then
Uh-huh.
what good is he? And he made a point. And he said, because if I was a defensive coordinator guy, he studied dropping back, and I'm seeing motherfuckers wide open my defense, and he want to take off running. I'm gonna tell my defense, knock him on his ass so he can get the message. Keep me honest. He made a good ass point. So Francois was one. And then when you look back also in that same year, when Willie Taggart when Slick Willie was at South Florida. Look when he had Quentin Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
This dude by himself had damn near 5,000. He had 5,000 over 5,000 yards total offense.
Mm-hmm.
4,000 of that was passing, and he had 1,600 yards fucking rushing in that offense.
Yeah.
Willie Taggart had the fucking talent.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. That's another story, another time. I don't know what the fuck going on with him in Florida State because there's no excuse. He got fucking Kendall Browse as his damn offensive coordinator. But whoever it is on the fucking defense, and we're gonna talk about that too. That list I sent about who's all on the hot seat.
Yeah, because I'm gonna look through that real quick as you speaking, but go ahead and talk your shit.
Mm-hmm. But it's all about the quarterback. Now James Blackman he do pretty good, but he has to take his time. He fits that offense. I got Blackman got a cannon arm. He, like you said, you don't see not too many black quarterbacks, but you don't do one better. You don't see not only too many black quarterbacks and too many white quarterbacks throwing and running. I named a few that had a cannon arm that can not only just throw it but can run it. Steve McNair, Warren Moon. I don't know if you remember the Raiders back in the 90s, a cat by the name of Vince Evans.
Vince Edmonds. Now Vince Evans. I've never
because
heard.
he was Jay Schrader's backup, and every time Jay Schrader would fuck up, Vince Evans would come in and had to clean up the mess. When Jay Schrader would blow easy plays, Vince Evans could come in, as old coworker might call him, that old man Vince. He get in there, boom, first down. Run the play again, boom, first down. Kill clock. Next play. Sometime they'll call a run back play, or his ass get out there and run it. Now Vince Evans, if he's still living, he's about 62 or 63 years old right now. And at the time, he was in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's messed up. Now, if a backup, if we all said Vince Evans should have been starting, it was just like Jay Schrader sucked as a quarterback. He sucked, so he's coaching now. But quarterbacks are not, it's not just the quarterbacks that's lazy. But that's just gonna say it. You got some quarterbacks that's just lazy as fuck. They just don't want to apply themselves. You got some good ones out there, but you have some that just don't want to apply.
Yeah, that's true.
And man, and all the times, and Big Mike, if you listening, we answered your question. Jimmy J was very vocal about some in the past that can do better.
Mm.
And I forgot who it was, but it was one quarterback that had my boy Jimmy, so fucking pissed off. He wanted me to move to the next question because and no, it wasn't Jalen Hurts either. This is somebody way. But I'll give you one better. Kelly Bryant down there in Missouri. Now he transferred to a school that can't even go to a bowl.
Yeah.
And he's still showing he garbage. He let fucking Trevor Lawrence outplay him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was gonna get that position anyway, but I think if Kelly Bryant had played better, because the thing is, old boy system is so simple, it's crazy. Because you're a mobile quarterback. My boy at Clemson, he will make it simple. If you're a pocket passer, he makes it simple. Why do you think every quarterback, from him being the offensive coordinator at Clemson, from him being the current head coach, have broken school records or on the school record list? In the top 10. Most of his quarterbacks that have played at Clemson, whether it's regular season or whether it's all-time passing list, have had records broken. They're in the top 10 of all records, including Kelly Bryant. Yes. So that goes to show you that Kelly Bryant, he did not do what he needed to do in that fucking offense, man. The offense is fucking simple. he's quarterback friendly when it comes to the offense. You know what I'm saying? He could literally take a garbage quarterback if he's you know what I'm saying, teachable and coachable, and he can literally make sugar out of shit. I mean shit out of sugar, literally. You know what I'm saying? If that
I get what you mean.
if he's teachable and coachable. The problem is Kelly Bryant was just not teachable and coachable. And Sweeney, ever since he's gotten there, quarterbacks have flourished. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is when it comes to him, though.
Yeah. So, that's that on that. I also talked about the Boondocks, dude. You heard about that?
The Boondocks going back to HBO Max. Is that am
They're
I
going to HBO Max.
okay? Yeah, I'm. You know, like I say, I'm not a fan of HBO Max, but if they're gonna have the Boondocks on there, then I'll consider. I'll look into that. So it is what it
Yeah,
is.
and so they'll be making their return in fall of 2020. So I look forward to that. Because like I said, when that last season on Cartoon Network was just a fucking throwaway season. It just and you really can tell. That's why I said you don't need other folks writing somebody else's shit.
No, that's true. You know, that's true. Unless you're gonna make it better than what it was originally written as. But other than that, you're 1,000% right when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
HBO don't water down the Boondocks. That's one thing I hope that does not happen. You know what I'm
Well, they
saying?
better not. They better not.
Yeah, because HBO have already got a bad taste in their mouth. So, especially with that Michael Jackson documentary that was
Indeed.
1,000% of a farce that ended up winning a fucking Emmy, which is why I'm never taking the Emmy serious again. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how do you win an Emmy for 1,000% lies? And the fucked up part about it is Robinson lied on the witness stand. How the fuck does Michael Jackson molest you and your family was living at the Neverland Ranch?
Wow.
So I don't get that shit. Yeah, Wade Robinson's
I don't get it
family
either.
was living there. This is documented. This
Mm.
ain't nothing bullshit because they had to testify in both molestation cases, and then he wanted to be Michael Jackson. He wanted to play Michael Jackson, and the executor of the state said no. So this is where these charges are coming from. You know what I'm saying? So HBO is a joke when it comes to that, but hopefully they treat the Boondocks right. But other than that, man, I digress on that.
Yeah, that's true. That I hope so. I hope so as well on that, man. Yeah, and also I was talking about something. We're gonna have two serious topics here, but let's start. I know I was talking about something with my job people, but I'm gonna finish that. And Jimmy, in case you haven't joined, well, you joined in late. Um, got a little issue, had a little issue with my job, man. That I like to share with everybody, and this applies to all jobs. Okay,
Right.
last week was the 8th, Sunday,
Right.
right? Okay, so I didn't know I was supposed to be working that Sunday until I found
Mm-hmm.
out later on. Now, the job I work at, I'm not going to say. I think I did. I mentioned on your show as to who I work for, but let's just say I do some TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, and my 2 off days are as follows: today and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So, my supervisor told me while I was in route doing a person's house, and said, "Hey, I ain't even gonna protect the names and hey, Coco wants you to come on in on Saturday. He wants you to come in on Saturday."
Mm-hmm.
And this how I was. I was like, okay, does he know I'm off Wednesday? I can come in Wednesday. Yeah, he know that, but he wants you to come in on Saturday. Okay, that's how I said it. So I didn't say it yes, and I didn't say no. So all the while, I just kind of been getting tired of a whole lot of shit. It's just a lot of shit just been building up about. with this job about, this and that. They want you to do quality reports. They want you to do quality reports. They want you to do this. They want you to do all this other bullshit, all this other rigmarole. And I got fed up. And, you know, I kind of snapped at my supervisor about a lot of things and stuff like that. Told them that, hey, I apologize. But if I got to tell you, and I'm going to say this here, this go to anybody that know me. Jimmy, if I'm your boss and if you snap at me, and if I confront you about it, and you say I apologize, I'm gonna say okay and leave it alone. Flip the script around. That's how it's supposed to go. But if you keep fucking talking about it, and if I gotta apologize to you 3 fucking goddamn times, it's something seriously wrong with that picture. I can't put it on there. There's something I want to say. If I gotta fucking apologize to you 3 times, you couldn't accept my apology the first time. And if I gotta tell you 3 times I apologize for what happened, something seriously going wrong on your end. What the fuck? What fucking point you don't understand? The I or the apologize. Because it's like this. If you say something that, like, if I say something that turn, if you say something that term out of me to me, you'll say, "Hey, Craig, I fucked up. I apologize." Okay, and we done. That's it. So I decided, because I was on this at this job out here at Lakeland, Tennessee. And let me get on people. If you plan on getting anything television related in Lakeland, and if you got the money to afford them nice houses in Lakeland and shit like that, god damn it, I just say his name in vain. Got, got, and god damn it, you need to be able to afford some fucking pest control. Cause I shouldn't have had to be using a can and a half of wasp spray to be killing not 1, not 2, but 3 wasp nests at your residence, and one of the wasp nests was where I had to work at, had to perform my work.
Exactly.
So if you living in fucking Lakeland, Tennessee, or in Arlington, Tennessee, if you got it like that to buy that house, then you better get it like that to take your ass to Lowe's or Sam's Club and buy wasp spray in bulk.
Shit, you got all those spots over there. Home Depot. I mean, all those places, and you can't afford no pest control. I mean, they need their ass whooped. I ain't gonna
No,
lie.
they need their whole ass whoop for real. Borrowing a quote from you, which was mine that you took and trademarked, but I ain't holding it. I ain't mad with you about it. But anyway, finish the story. So I called the manager about it while I was working. I told him, I said, hey, man, let's look here. I said, I got a little grievance with you about some things. He said, okay. I said, now the schedule. Now I didn't know, me along a couple other guys. I said, I'm not saying the guys' names. They ain't got nothing to do with this. We didn't know we had to work this past Sunday, right? He said, that's correct. I said, okay. Now, my supervisor told me that you want us to work on Saturday. Okay. He said, correct. He said, so what's the issue? I said, I'm getting into that. You know that we off on Wednesday. I said, I feel that you're not giving your text no leeway or no say on something. I said, I'll do you one better. You're not giving none of your text. You're not allowing your text the freedom of choice, if you will, to make a decision on what day they want to work. Because if we got 2 off days, we off on Wednesday, we off on Saturday. I felt you should have asked us, you should have had supervisors say, hey, ask the guys they want to come in on Wednesday just in case, just in case. So we can be fully staffed. That way everybody can get done, get in, get out early. So you know where this is going. So he asked me, he said, well, he said, so he was like, in more ways. One, he felt, he was like, well, I shouldn't have to ask you. I'm like, really? I'm like, wait a minute. He said, well, Saturday was the day that I needed you on. So I chose y'all. I chose to told y'all to work Saturday. I said, so you basically telling me you got so what you basically telling me is that we don't have no say on what we can and can't do. So that's like if you saying that if say for example, if I'm out of town in Chicago and on vacation, or on a little break or whatever for the weekend visiting family, all of a sudden supervisor call tell me, hey, you got to cut it short. You got to come to work on Saturday. Like I got to sacrifice my time with family to go up to somebody else's house. I said I'm not being blunt. I mean, I'm not trying to be smart, being direct. I'm not trying to be smart about anything. But I'm just making the point. I'm just trying to make sure. So so he was like, well, I chose everybody to so he said, well, I chose y'all to work on Saturday, and that was the available day that I want y'all to work. So I'm like, well, you could have by right, you supposed to let us choose, man. That's like if and this is what I told him. And then he dismissed the question. So I want you to listen to this here. And I told my supervisor boss was the manager the same thing. Asked my supervisor question. I said, man, let me ask you something. I told my supervisor, let me ask you something. Forget the supervisor's role for a minute. Two fine girl, it's a fine girl that you like, you want to talk to. What I look like telling you, nah, bro, don't talk to her. Go talk to this fat ugly girl right here that's stanky. Are you gonna listen to me? and my supervisor said, let me tell you, so he said, damn. He said, be honest with you, no.
That's a good.
When you think about it. So
That's a good
I
cross.
told my manager, I said, let me ask you something here. I said, it's two girls. I said, there are two. I said, there are two women. They both look good as hell, right? They both look
Mm-hmm.
good. One of them you want to talk. One, I said, girl number two, more interested in you than anything, but you interested in girl number one. But we telling you girl number one a little hot. What you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna go to girl number two. I said, okay. Well, girl number two is Wednesday. I said, you should let us work Wednesday. I said, okay, well, I said, well, correct me if I'm right or wrong. I said, did you have four people that called off on Wednesday? And said, yeah. I said, well, man, you could have let us work then. You could let us all work then, and then we could have been off on Saturday, and the next thing you know, boom, we could have, started new on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense in the perfect world, right?
Right.
Wrong. Uh, so his rebuttal to that was, what I don't understand is why are you complaining about working 5 days? I said, I'm not complaining about working 5 days. I'm complaining about the fact that you didn't give us the freedom of choice about what day we wanted to make that up on. He didn't say nothing. Then he turns around in the as a matter of fact way, gonna ask me, we're talking about, well, like, it's, insert as a matter of fact, no, as a matter of fact, he said, he said, why you didn't complain about when you all was just working 4 days? He said, hey, y'all work 4 days because I felt y'all deserved it. He said, but what I want to say, you could have, why you didn't complain? You complained me about working 5 days and you didn't complain to me about working 4 days. He said, so why you didn't complain to me about working 4 days? So I shot back at him and as a matter of fact way, which people know me, you don't come at me and do. Don't come at me no as a matter of fact question because I'm an as a matter of fact your ass. So I came back with him and said, well, I didn't feel the need to. He couldn't say shit. Now I said, now if anything, if you had us working 3 days and 2 days, yeah, I got a right to complain. But I felt the need to complain. But working 4 days, I don't feel the need to complain. I said, but what my grievance is, what I felt the need to complain about is you're not giving us the freedom of choice. You basically just stripped us of freedom of choice to choose what days we want to work to make up. I said, and I told him outright, I said, hey, that I can't do. I cannot, because that Saturday, man, I lost out on some nice little bread, uh, helping somebody. It was a hard related project I was gonna do for someone, get it on out the way, but I had to cancel. But then Sadly, they decided to go elsewhere. I'm not mad with them. I understood, but I was more mad about what the fuck shit my job pulled.
I agree.
So I was mad about that. So on that same day, my supervisor, I was telling him some stuff was going on. He cutting everything short with me. And let me say this: if you happen to be a supervisor and if you a manager, and when the employee trying to talk to you about something, don't you cut them off short. Because let me tell you something: the only time you cut an employee off short in the conversation is when they not talking.
Mm-hmm.
That go for anything. So if this gets out in public, I'm warning you. Don't you fucking cut me. Don't you fucking get short with me. That go to anybody. Don't fucking get short with me in a conversation. Because the only time that you are allowed with me in a conversation get short with me is if I'm not talking. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when you be short with folks, you being rude. You showing your lack of tact.
It is.
I don't do that, I don't do that with anybody, even with folks that I can't stand. I don't get short with them. Sometimes the worst people that you can't stand, you still got to show them kindness. So don't do that. I'm pretty sure Jimmy J had to put some up, and he said it on here. He had to put some motherfuckers in his place, in they place plus some
Yeah.
for cutting him short in the conversation. He said it, and it wasn't pretty on their end because they learned their lesson. He said they still tried him by getting short, and then he really had to step it up a notch on reprimanding. Man, right or wrong, you did say that on the past episode, on the past show.
Yes.
Right or
Yes.
wrong, Jim.
Yes. 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 Yes, sir.
So I'm just saying this for anybody. If you are a boss, or if you currently work with me on anything or whatnot, and if I'm talking and you want to get short with me, I'm gonna burn the shit out your ass. Cause guess what? If you decide to get short with me when I'm talking, hey, I can return the favor. I'm gonna hang up on your ass.
There
If
you
I'm
go.
talking on the phone, if I'm trying to tell you something, talking about, but what? Okay, click. Don't fucking do it no more. I'll let them know in a heartbeat that. And hey, everybody know who I work for. Everybody knows who I work for.
Mm-hmm.
That applies for work, and that also applies to real life.
Yeah.
So from now on, if you go this is not a rule that applies. Not just this rule not only applies to me. This rule applies for anybody. If you are a manager or a supervisor in any form of leadership at your job, and if you want to cut your conversation with an employee short while he talking, don't you do it. The only time that you will cut a conversation short with an employee that when they are talking is when they are not. That's the only time that conversation needs to be short.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Very true. Very true.
So, but to make a long story short, I still had to fuck around and work the damn Saturday
Mm-hmm.
and then the fucking Sunday, which is this week.
Yeah.
So it's just all about communication. And also, Jimmy, here's another nice little touchy little subject. I had a talk with a acquaintance of mine. Matter of fact, I gotta make a run to the porcelain throne right quick. Fill me in on some stuff what might be going on your show. Be right back.
Oh man, I'm just in this mug chilling right now, man. Live and direct in full effect, man. And you know, I've spoken on this issue before, and since he's in the restroom, let me pull this up real fast. I'm trying to pull this up real fast. Reparations. Uh, I've talked about this earlier, but for those who don't have my YouTube, well, my uh, Facebook page is I talked about reparations, and black people should get reparations for slavery, the Jim Crow laws, the Indian treaties, and the pump fake desegregation / drug laws that's been targeted. And slavery should go without saying because we are entitled to those 40 acres and a mule. So we definitely should get reparations for that. The other things we should get reparations for is the Jim Crow laws. And this is particularly for Black people that are descendants of Black people living in this country pretty much after Reconstruction through 1970.
All right.
And the reason, go ahead. All right.
Now go ahead.
Yes.
Say what you're saying.
And the reason why I say the Jim Crow laws is because people had to suffer through that. So I feel like reparations should be given for that. Another thing is the Indian treaties, which there are Black people that are entitled to that as well, just like slavery. You know, there are some Black people that are 3/84ths Native American. Probably, I'll say about right around 50 to 60% of Black people. Not only that, the Black people that was enslaved by the Indians that was forced on the Indian reservation. Yes, you had some Indians that owned slaves just like white people. I think the descendants of those people should definitely get reparations for that. And then, of course, the maldistribution of resources. Black people should get reparations for. After desegregation, we had a lot of maldistribution of resources. We've had whole interstates in Black communities that destroyed Black businesses. Certain Black communities like Fifth Ward in Houston, as well as Third Ward and Acres Homes, they've suffered through those building of the interstates that caused the inner city to be messed up. But I'll definitely go more into that on my show. I just wanted to give people an idea of what I was going to talk about on my show as well. But I'll go into great details, the arguments and stuff like that. But please continue, brother.
Yep. And also, man, had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and not again not revealing names, right? All right, ladies, let me tell you something. And this is why most of you all are single now. When you make comments like this, and I'm gonna pull it back, and I'm gonna pull it up.
Oh, do your thing. Flash flood warning.
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, folks down in Houston, they got a flash flood warning. So
yeah. I don't know the exact name of that tropical storm, but that's causing some problems out here for sure.
But ladies, there's some of y'all that is when you make statements like this is the very fucking reason why y'all in the position y'all asses in now.
Yeah.
You are not. Matter of fact, don't ever call yourself a fucking alpha female.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. That is so. Who the hell says some fool ass shit like that? Oh my goodness.
That is some fool. That is some fool. That is some old fluky fool ass shit. I'm like, and they saying the name about it, but this person had said in the conversation that they are an alpha female. Well, let me tell you something. If you an alpha female, ladies, if you're an alpha female, guess what? You wouldn't be struggling.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as no alpha male or alpha female. If you alpha female, you have your shit together. If you alpha man, I'm gonna say, wait a minute. I'm not just talking about female. I'm talking about our gender. Me and Jimmy's gender too, males too. Y'all not exception to the rule.
Let me stop you right there. I have to stop you right there. In terms of male, that's what the alpha is for. Now, for a female, yes, that looks very fucked up. But as far as alpha male, we have a right to call ourselves the alpha male because we are the dominant gene. I can't agree with that in terms of that particular situation. Now, female, that looks very, very lame. That means she's trying to have a dick, for lack of a better term. So I have to disagree in terms of the male part. The female part, yeah, that don't make sense for a female to say that shit. But continue, please.
Don't fat ladies, and I digress on that, fellas. But ladies, you don't tell no man. You do not tell a man that you are alpha female because one, you're gonna make yourself look very bad. Two, if you're an alpha female, then that means you're a breadwinner on your own. You're supposed to be providing. You're not supposed to be out broke or gypsy living. Let's put it like that. So, I'm not saying the name of the person who said this, but I just felt I had to get that address. You're not, and you gypsy living. You hopping from one address to another.
Yeah.
You gotta, then you got a phone where you have, and then, well, black people just be bad about that in general. You got a fucking phone, but you say y'all, I don't like talking on it. I just text. Motherfucker, you still talking, ain't you?
That's crazy as hell, yeah.
I don't set a voicemail up the best line I did hear someone say, this wasn't this person. I ain't got a phone number. Phone ain't nothing but a GPS. You a motherfucking lie. Yeah, and then you just got some old, and really it's people our age, Jimmy, along with some of the kids and some of these little new age, these little these folks now that's just a new age of stupid. They have become a part. People my age and your age have become a part of this new age stupid. I'm for real. But this alpha female shit, ladies, don't associate yourself by referring yourself as that no more. Don't. If you are alpha female, let me tell you something. We got a right to call ourselves alpha male. But for you to call yourself an alpha female, alpha male gonna have his shit. Even if he ain't got an alpha male, hey, half time even if they don't have their shit together, they doing something.
They're in the process of
They're in the process of it. Thank you. They're in the process of it. An alpha female will have a job. They own shit. They own car. Alpha female, please, man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Don't you ever refer yourself? Don't none of you ladies. You better not refer yourself to that shit no goddamn more.
Yeah, that's absolutely beyond my thought process in terms of that. I'm like, bitch, just do you. If you about your, and the thing about ladies, there's a lot of ladies that's pump faking and shit like that, baby. If you got your shit together, people can see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you have it together, people can see that. People can feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? And then what's crazy about that bullshit is a lot of times these women are some of the biggest begging ass females out there who call themselves.
Can you
Very women that call
themselves. Wait, Jimmy? Can you please repeat that one more time?
A lot of these females that call themselves alpha females and independent females, them are some of the biggest begging ass, mooching ass females in the game.
Bro,
my thing, ladies, if you got it like that, do your thing. You ain't got to be an arrogant ass, because there are some females that do have it like that. There's some arrogant, and that's a whole nother conversation in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you doing the damn thing, good for you. You know what I'm saying? Stay humble. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane and stop playing bullshit games. That's the way I see it, man.
Yep. Or as I
So
say, if you doing your thing, hey, good. Oh, really? Yeah, that's good for you. Go bless your heart. Buy yourself something for Christmas. That's what I say. Damn. But calling but you call if you walk around calling yourself an alpha female and you ain't got you ain't got shit building. You ain't got shit building in the you ain't got shit for yourself. Don't such yourself like that.
shit, you accepting canned goods from Michael and shit like that. And that's nothing wrong. Sometimes we as the song with Master P said,
This
we ain't
fool
got nothing.
said share unless you share a can good from.
That ain't the piss on anybody that want that shit because at one
This
point in
man
time,
said unless you share a can good from.
yeah, some of these motherfuckers be having canned goods at Mifa. And I at one point I've had to humble myself and go to Mifa before. You know what I'm saying? As a grown ass nigga, I've
We
had to
all
humble
did.
myself. But the thing is, humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go get canned goods from Mifa and shit like that. Talking about you a alpha woman and an independent woman, bitch. What? How independent are you? Let's just keep it 1,010. Shit. Shit. I'm in the process of doing some damn things. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I ain't gonna, I ain't, I ain't gonna say nothing until it actually, becomes reality. But my thing is, man, stay in your lane and stop playing bullshit head games. That's my thing right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I've been, shit, I done been homeless in this motherfucker.
Man,
You
hey, me
talking?
too. I even talked about that. Hey, I had to humble myself. You know,
Yeah,
shit. You know,
I literally in 2014, because of a fuck boy that I was roommates with, had played me before. You know what I'm saying? Lied to me saying he was gonna send money for the rent, and I got my ass thrown the fuck out. Walking in hot ass Houston, Texas, to where I caught a heat cramp. I've never experienced a heat cramp until I came to Houston, Texas.
man,
And those heat cramps ain't no joke because you could literally you're borderline at the point to where
about to have a
you're
heat stroke.
gonna have a heat stroke. So it was so bad, like in uh like my homeboy literally had to buy a hotel room so I could be cooled down. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it was. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? And he had to scrape up money. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that brother. He's in the sports group. You know what I'm saying? And it was a bitch because I had to shift my clothes from storage facility to hotel room until we got us a rooming house. I had to humble myself for a year and give me a rooming house with another guy. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying. So it was one of those crazy things. You know what I'm saying? To where I was literally living in Houston, homeless like a motherfucker, smelling like bunkhouse buck from goddamn WCW. You know what I'm saying? You know,
damn.
and I used to play the theme song with my boy, man. Like, damn, I'm up here smelling like bunkhouse buck, man, up in this motherfucker, man.
How long was you homeless, dude?
I was homeless literally for like 7 days up in this bitch.
Damn.
That's how long I was homeless.
Shit, you had me beat, man. I was homeless for like I was shit after what happened to me in Huntsville, man. I was homeless for like shit 2 days, and then when I got paid, I had to hurry up and give me a fucking hotel for 2 days. Some
Yeah,
commission money came. Then before that, I stayed with a coworker for about a week over at my old job. Shout out to him, old uh, CeeLo Franklin in Alabama. I stayed with him for a while, man. That was a big help. And then after that, shit, I stayed up back in the homeless shelter again for 2 nights. And after when the night I got paid, bro, I went and got me a fucking hotel room for 2 days.
yeah. I mean, I mean, shit. For me, I was living in a storage facility, literally.
Damn.
I was in a storage facility slash Northwest Transit Center until Metro PD told us to leave because I was that fucking tired. I was so tired that I went straight up sleep on the Northwest Transit Center platform. I was that tired, and then the transportation system in Houston, they have their own police department, so they was like, hey, you got to property and shit like that. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I came up with the idea, shit, nigga, we finna go up in this storage facility, and when we get paid, we finna find something. I don't know what it is.
It was just you. It was just somebody else.
It was both of us. It was both of us because we was homeless together. You know what I'm saying? The individual, it was both of us homeless together. We both got fucked in the process. We both got messed over because it was just three of us. And the dude, you know what I'm saying, was lying to us about he was going to pay the rent. He was going to help us out and shit like that. Never did, came through with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Lying like he still had his job and he didn't have his job. And if he had told us that, I would have easily found a route to get out this and go on about my business. But he was lying to us so much that we was in a predicament to where we couldn't get out of. So and
you heard anything from that dude since?
Man, fuck that motherfucker. You talking about the guy that I was homeless with, or the guy that fucked me over?
The latter.
The person that I was homeless with.
No, the one that fucked you and your partner over.
Fuck that motherfucker. He can eat a whole entire AIDS-infested genital herpes, goddamn genital warts dick for all I
damn,
care. And I hope he burned in fucking fire that fake. And this is one thing I hate about motherfuckers. When motherfuckers, and this is no disrespect to certain people because everybody like that, but it's one thing I hate is a motherfucker that reads the Bible up and down and be on some fake ass bullshit. Talking about Jesus is, oh, hallelujah. I wish I had the organ right now, but I was playing the Hammond organ right now. You know what I'm saying? But, I can't, I don't have that right now. But,
this man said, oh, Lord and Jesus, hallelujah.
Jesus, hallelujah. And then next thing you know, they do some of the shadiest shit ever in the fucking
history. They're really the worst ones, bro.
Yeah, and this is not all Christians because I've ran into some great Christians and I ran into some extremely hypocritical Christians. But those the motherfuckers, I just want to take a pistol and shoot the shit out they motherfucking asses. But this motherfucker right here was one of those motherfuckers. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck that toothless, goddamn Popeye wood grain teeth having motherfucker. Fuck that son of a bitch. I don't like that motherfucker.
But what about the other dude that was
We cool as hell. He's actually in the sports group. He's actually in the group. He very seldom talks, you know what I'm saying? But I be trying to get him to talk. But yeah, he that's the homie. You know what I'm saying? So anytime he needs somewhere to go or like that, but he's back in Memphis, but he's supposed to be moving out of Memphis. I don't know when, but he said he has plans to get the fuck on out of Memphis and shit like that. But that's the homie though.
okay.
Anytime he needs somewhere to stay, man, you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm single, he can stay as long as he can. Now, if I got a wife, you got about 6 months to a year, goddammit, because I want to walk around butt naked with my wife up in this motherfucker. But other than that, if I'm single and I ain't got no wife, he can stay as long as he damn sure please. So, that was the homie though, man. But I was homeless. Motherfucker living in a storage facility, nigga. Literally. It wasn't climate controlled storage facility because we would have had it good. But we had to deal with mosquitoes out here in Texas, and coastal mosquitoes is different than mosquito country mosquitoes is different than regular city mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it was like. Yeah, them motherfuckers are big too. So it is what it is when it comes to that shit.
But folk need females be saying that they alpha females. They better learn how to start humbling themselves first, man. For real.
Oh yeah, man.
Shit.
Yeah, and just a lot.
Oh, but you saw what I sent you, right?
Yeah, I saw this. She need to get out of here with that bullshit. Whoever that hoe. Oh yeah, shit. But yeah, whoever that hoe is, get out of here. So it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yep. But man, but yeah, that shit had a rough start. I forgot to put myself on audio on this thing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, episode 23 is back. Let's draw some of this back. It's gonna be pretty sporadic, y'all. Cause shit, like I said, the way my job working and stuff, way my job works and stuff like that. It's gonna be sporadic. But yeah, I'll be on Jimmy J Smooth Network show whenever he has his. So, and more than likely, shit, he'll be busy for these next 2 days because flash flood, and he off 2 days because of work, because of the climate. Thursday and Friday, lucky you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I mean,
he'll be posting a shitload of videos up. I already know.
yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't do anything, but the likelihood of me being the likelihood of me going to work tomorrow and Friday is highly unlikely. But hopefully, we can make it up somehow, some way. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, they'll probably tell
Did
y'all
you?
to come in Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully. Did you hear about that weak ass post that Antonio Brown's stepdad did? That little bitch made extra bitch made shit that his daddy did, just his stepdaddy did.
No, fill me in.
Okay. Shout out to my homeboy on Instagram, Osiris the God. Uh, he posted uh, screenshots of stepdad saying that Antonio Brown is very abusive towards women. Uh,
Uh,
the Yeah, he said some real extra emotional ass bitch made shit. I'm like, dude, get
you
your
ain't helping the case now.
get your tap dancing ass out of here. First of all, that shit looks. First of all, that shit was very fucking staged to begin with. Again, Antonio Brown does not make great decisions. I'm going to put it on the line. He does not make great
He don't.
decisions. However, if you're going to say this guy is a rapist and this guy, you putting extras, anchovies on the top of the pizza, I have a problem with you doing that because now it's all over the place. And again, the mass media, and I've said this before, and my brother Town Business of the LBBC, shout out to that brother. He said the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? The guy don't make great decisions, but if you're gonna get me to throw this guy under the bus, okay, I have a problem with that. And whenever they really go in on the athlete, I mean, they're perpetually going in on the athlete, a black athlete at that. They're setting him up for a situation to where they're going to throw the Me Too movement, the LGBT type people, all the motherfuckers after him. And I saw that coming a mile away. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned that on probably my last show, if not my second to last show, that they was putting more anchovies on the pizza than what they normally should be putting on the pizza. And my thing with Antonio Brown, this dude is, in my personal opinion, he's definitely not a rapist. That shit should be thrown out a mile away. I felt like this woman was basically clout chasing, and I think the media was in on it. Somebody from the media, maybe from the Oakland Raiders organization, Town Business said this, and himself probably paid her to actually go out and say this shit. Because who gonna get raped 4 times? Go back to get raped on 4 different occasions.
Bruh, man, yeah, and then that shit there, that is kind of
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is suspect. Then I
Mm-hmm.
find it funny that like I said, I found it kind of funny that the accuser of this shit would gonna accuse this man and shit, and then she get raped. Then she get raped, getting married on Southern Heritage Weekend.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, really?
I wanted to know who she actually marrying too. You know what I'm saying? Who is exactly is who's the guy that she actually marrying? Is she marrying a white dude? Which, like I say, I don't have no problem with interracial relationships, but when you start throwing Me Too talking points about another black person, that gets very suspicious. I have to look into your background. You know what I'm saying? So this woman looks very suspicious. I don't believe anything she say unless unless you show me evidence that this man actually committed a crime, I'm gonna go on the line and say I don't believe this USDA certified bullshit that the media is doing. And then you notice people in the media from Terry Fagshaw, fuck Terry Bradshaw with his goddamn Donald Trump supporting ass.
What his
Saying,
ass say about this shit?
Said some bitch ass shit talking about he should be thrown out. He said the typical uh typical white supremacist ass bullshit that he typically says. And the thing about Terry Bradshaw, bitch, you wouldn't have had 4 Super Bowls without a great defense of the defense like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's just keep it 1,010. You showed up at the right time. You was able to show up at the right time, and your defense had your back, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never be close to Joe Montana. Hell, I'll put Tom Brady as a better fucking quarterback than you, and I don't like Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady is highly overrated to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? That's not to take away his accomplishments. He got 6 Super Bowls for a reason. But Terry Bradshaw, you is overrated as hell. You got just as many interceptions as touchdowns in your career. You rode the back of a great defense and a good running game with Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer. Without those 2 motherfuckers, your bitch ass would have had 4 Super Bowls. And that's the only reason why your bitch ass got in the Hall of Fame before fucking John Stallworth, which was a fucking joke. And Lynn Swann G-checked that, which he rightfully did. Rightfully so G-checked that. He said, I'm not going to be satisfied until they put John Stallworth in the fucking Hall of Fame. And John Stallworth was the key wide receiver to the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. Just like my boy who recently died. I can't think of him off the top of my head because I'm so pissed off at this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And just like the guy from the Oakland Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That guy who recently died, rest in peace. I'm just on a rant right now, so just please forgive me. I ain't trying to leave out nobody, but he was that type of guy for the Oakland Raiders as he was to the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. But again, Terry Fagshaw, bitch ass motherfucker, goddamn fucked up receding bald spot having motherfucker. You need to cut that bullshit off with your goddamn moon pie head ass motherfucker. So that's my rant on Terry Bradshaw, bitch ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I learn something new every day about this Antonio Brown shit. So that's why, man, I don't even, I stopped following it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want the guy to get in no trouble. He's got mental issues and it should be rectified. But to tell me that he's an actual criminal, to tell me that he's an extra abusive bitch made nigga, okay, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think his baby mama would have been came out and said, or his baby mama. I'm pretty sure he got a couple of baby mamas out there. One of them bitches.
No, he only got one.
He just got one. Okay, so thanks for correcting me on that. So she would have been came out and left this dude by now, because CTE is not a joke. I think he's got CTE problems again. I don't think he makes great decisions. But if you're telling me you putting extras on the pizza, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? To make him to make a target. Another problem I have with is Skip need to say less. Skip the truth, Bayless. Non debating ass Skip Bayless. Here's another problem I have. My problem is this man have been Kawhi Leonard for the longest. Again, I'm not the biggest Kawhi Leonard fan in the world. I respect his game as a player, but the fact that he's been perpetually attacking Kawhi Leonard, and to where his wife even had to come out and say, to praise Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? And I hope Kawhi Leonard, when he get a chance, he fucked the shit out of Skip Bayless' wife. I hope he I hope he gets a happy ending in her face. By the way, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But Skip Bayless have been going after Kawhi Leonard ever since he left San Antonio. Now, granted, San Antonio made the right decision by trading Kawhi Leonard in terms of that. Now, the way they threw him under the bus, there was some extra emotional whole shit or extra emotional shit that they did. I had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, Kawhi Leonard was injured. He was a tradable individual because He couldn't stay healthy at San Antonio. I get that. You paid this guy all this money. I get why you traded him. But don't come on this extra emotional hoe ass shit when dude don't say shit to the media. For the most part, he don't really say next to nothing. The guy don't do nothing. He takes care of his family. He lives very frugally. You know what I'm saying? And because the dude, like I say, his family had to force him. His stepdad and his mom had to force the guy. You know what I'm saying? And this is a correction because his dad actually died when he was a teenager, from what I understand, unfortunately. But he does have a stepfather. But they forced him because he was living with his he brought them to San Antonio from Los Angeles. And he was living with them for a long time, but they had to force this kid to actually go buy him a decent running car because he was riding basically a hoopty, from what I understand. I think, but I can't mention it off the top.
Chevy Tahoe.
Chevy Tahoe. Thank you. An old school Chevy Tahoe. And they had to force this kid to go get him. This dude is a millionaire. He lives frugally. He takes care of his family. He bought more expensive cars for them than he did for himself. You know what I'm saying? But yet you want to sit up there and piss on Kawhi Leonard for just being Kawhi Leonard, for not saying nothing, who's basically damn near a deaf player in the NBA when it comes to his personal life and on the court. He doesn't argue with the referees like LeBrick James. You ain't gonna get your name this year until you win a championship, LeBrick James.
Hey, hold that thought. They had the nerve to put him in the top 5 as one of the top best shooters in the NBA. They got him right behind Steph Curry and KD.
Nigga, if they don't choke themselves, he ain't even a good mid-range shooter.
I agree, and there's something what I agree with Skip Bayless on too. He said I don't think LeBron he doesn't shoot pretty good. He's not even good mid range. He said he's best at driving and finishing.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
But yeah, man, he doesn't do anything. The kid Kawhi is just a quiet, to himself, takes care of his family, does what he needs to do for his family, dude, in person. And that big house that he got in Oceanside, California, which is within an hour and a half from Los Angeles, that's the biggest house biggest thing he done bought ever since he's been in the NBA for the most part. He's not a flashy dude. If you walk down the street, you wouldn't know who the hell he is because he's so damn quiet. You know what I'm saying? So this kid is doing what he needs to do, and I have a problem with the media as well as Skip Bayless picking on this dude because he's a quiet dude. You know what I'm saying? That I have a problem with. I have a major problem with it, and I hope that kid, get a championship with the Clippers. It's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna be in the mix with everybody in the West. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, Skip Bayless need to go suck on some horse nuts for picking on this kid, because this kid should not be ridiculed like that. That kid does nothing for the most part. He does nothing in terms of, creating controversy, getting attention. He don't do any of that. He's just
he don't.
He's just a quiet dude, and I have a problem with them picking on that guy. So
true.
Kawhi Leonard, brother to brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your biggest basketball fan, but I respect you as a player and respect you as a man. And I hope success come to you again. You know what I'm saying? He's the only other player in NBA history to win the NBA Finals MVP. The only one of 3 people, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to win NBA Finals with 2 different teams. With 2 different teams. So if he accomplished that with the LA Clippers, he'll be the only one to win it with 3 different teams.
Yeah.
So hopefully, man, the kid has the best wishes to that brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Best wishes to.
But and then what I'm tripping on, hey, did you get that text I sent you?
Talking about the alpha female or what else?
The other one.
It
was another one. Just check that one. It wasn't about that one. There's something different, but I ain't gonna say it on there.
Okay.
But man, but when I was listening to Undisputed today, dog, they said that LeBron James, somebody had that list on there. And I agree with Skip Bayless. Said whoever made this list really loves LeBron James. Said because he said he don't think that LeBron is one of the top 3 shooters there is. Said because because when you look at number 1 and number 2, said Steph Curry, he's gonna get his shots. He said when he pulls up, when he comes up the court, wherever he's at, he's in range. He said KD's the same way. He said you look at and said LeBron when he's supposed to be in range, he doesn't. He's all about driving and finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Then he compared their career free throw shooting percentage. Steph Curry is a 92% career free throw shooter. KD is 88%. LeBron is 74%.
Yep.
Career 3-point percentage. KD is he's right on the cusp between 44 to 45%. Steph Curry, shit, my Wells is gonna say he 50%. Then he turned around and said, he said that number 3 should have been Klay Thompson. Said Klay Thompson is right behind his current teammate and former teammate at 43%. Said LeBron James' career 3-point percentage is 34%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you the best player in the world, you gotta have some man, you at least gotta have a jump or something.
Yeah.
Cause the last time I'm gonna put it like this. Kevin Love, about the same height, same build like LeBron. And this man shooting like almost over 40% of his 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
This a power forward shooting threes like it ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not buying it that LeBron is the third best shooter in the NBA.
Hell no.
Yeah. By the way, you was getting on my case about this about First Take. That First Take clip I sent you on Instagram. Marcus Spears made a good point about Colin Kaepernick. But did you hear that last little part where Max Kellerman said?
I didn't hear that last part. I don't think
He
I've
said
heard
something
that.
about you want to know the difference between Baltimore and San Fran. He said Baltimore's players is not kneeling for the anthem. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here with this shit. Max Yellerman.
If he don't get his whack ass out of here with his non rapping ass. Oh, we still remember that non rapping song he didn't had, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you need to get the fuck on out of here, man. So it is what it is when it comes to that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, brother.
Yeah.
So what is your take on the college football hot seats? Now, some I'm agreeing with, and there's a few that I really don't agree with at all. Or
I don't agree with
understand.
BYU's hot seat. I don't agree with BYU's hot seat, but let me fill everybody in on what Jimmy's talking about. There's a site I'm a member on called NutopiaSports.com. And guy by the name of let me see what his name is. A guy by the name of Bruin. He's a Bruin fan. Posted this picture of the top 30 coaches that are on the hot seat. So we're gonna go from the bottom to the top. At number 30, Mike New of Ball State. 29, Mike Bobo of Colorado State. Frank Wilson at University of Texas San Antonio. Matt Luke from Ole Miss. Gus Malzahn from Auburn. I don't agree with this number 25. Scott Frost. No.
I think they gonna give, if Scott Frost can get them to a bowl game because he's got a lot of rebuilding and shielding to do. I think they're gonna give him at least until a 5th or 6th year if he can show some type of progression. But as far as right now, no, they're not gonna unleash him just yet. So no, I don't think he's on the hot seat yet. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
go ahead, brother.
Jonathan Smith at Oregon State. Kalani Sitake at BYU. Tony Sanchez from UNLV. Yeah, I'm buying number 21, Derek Mason from Vanderbilt. I'm definitely buying that. I'm definitely buying that. No, I mean, because every year he had a quarterback, and now, like in his first game, he started three different fucking quarterbacks. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Philip Montgomery at Tulsa. Yeah, they've been talking about getting rid of him. I don't know who about this guy, Dana DeMille at UTEP. Brett Brennan at San Jose State. Chad Morris. Nah, I don't think so. They're gonna probably give him a couple more years. This is a shock at number 16. Uh, Mark D'Antonio. No.
Hell no.
But you got to put an asterisk on it because he publicly admitted he doesn't believe in hiring new coordinators.
He's producing for
Michigan State.
Michigan State. So
And
nah.
Herman Edwards went up there and beat them this weekend, dog.
Yeah, but he's like Michigan State is competing in that conference in the Big Ten. So nah, they're not gonna get rid of him too quick. That'll shock me if they get rid of him. That'll be somebody actually being able to predict some hellified shit if he ends up getting fired, because I don't see it happening. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little stretch right there.
Okay. Bobby Wilder from Old Dominion. Yeah. Now this should have been in the top five. Kevin Sumlin from Arizona. Yes. Yes. No said. Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna get rid of Sumlin until about 2 more years. I think they're gonna give him 4 years, and then if he hasn't produced or at least shown that he's competed in the Pac-12, I think his ass is up out of there.
Yeah. Mike Bloomgren for Rice.
Yeah.
Randy Edsel.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Rice. Rice is hard to recruit at Rice because that's almost like trying to go fucking Harvard. The Harvard at fucking Houston. So but that's an asterisk mainly because the academic standards to go to Rice. Anybody that's from Houston, they know how difficult it is to get in that bitch. So it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yeah.
What's the next?
Randy Edsel from UConn. Yes.
Yes.
Doug Martin from New Mexico State. I don't know too much about them. Steve Adazio from Boston College. Maybe. But every year they have every year they have a damn good defense though. They defense stay in the top five, but they don't never make it to no bowl game.
Yeah, well, so he might be up out of there. I'll say that. He definitely may be up out of there. So
yep. Charlie Strong at number 9. Yes.
I think they're gonna give him a chance, but if he is on the hot seat, I'll say this because he's had a few nationally ranked South Florida teams. If he is on the hot seat, Charlie Strong is one paid motherfucker. But again, I will always say he should have stayed at Louisville. That's that's my personal opinion. That Texas job was stretching it, but I think he should have stayed at Louisville. But if South Florida give him that 6, that dude is gonna get 2 payouts if that ends up happening. So
hell yeah, he gonna be between shit. He might as well just sit down and retire, bro. If that happens.
I ain't gonna. Yeah, I ain't lying. He ain't lying because he's still getting paid QT. So, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Game. So yeah.
All right. Chris Ash from Rutgers at number 8. Clay Helton. Yes.
Clay Helton from
USC. Yep.
He up out of there. Any coach who's not winning a national championship or winning conference titles, they're going to be on the hot seat at USC. That's the University of Spoiled Children for you, as they say up there in Los Angeles. So yeah, he's on the hot seat.
Okay. Lovie Smith, Illinois. Hell yes. No explanation. Hell yes.
Yes, he's definitely on the hot seat, but I don't think he should have took a college job. And
no, he should have sat his ass down.
Yeah, retire some fucking where. Because if he couldn't get no NFL job, him trying to play cover 2 in the Big 12,
Big
with
10.
the Big 10, you know,
That ain't gonna work, bro.
That's not gonna work because number one, he can't he doesn't recruit worth a damn. So that's first and foremost, and number two, that's a complicated defensive scheme. Unless you have athlete, that's a complicated defensive scheme to run, especially in the Big 12, where he's not doing a good job recruiting. So yeah,
Big 10.
Big 10, yeah. So
Now I'm gonna tell you one dude that did make it work in the Big 12, but not the Big 10, but in the Big 12, Bo Pelini. Because he ran a 4-3. He ran the 4-3 when at his time in Nebraska. And he made it work. I mean, we didn't hear nothing about Dominican Sue.
yeah,
He made that work, and then see he had the personnel to do it.
yeah, because Nebraska is connected to the state of Texas. So he has personnel to run that type of defense, and then he has connection, like the head coach at the current head coach Scott Frost to Florida. So he gets talent from Florida and Texas. So he had the personnel to run that shit. The problem was he was trying to run that wishbone, that 1925 ass wishbone offense that's been out of style for many years and years and years. That's where Bo Pelini had a problem with.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
then he also recruited the current 49ers head coach as the offensive coordinator back in the day, Kyle Shanahan, and it was a must. But Bo Pelini did stick up for the offense on this one.
mm-hmm.
Because he told Kyle Shanahan, man, ain't nobody gonna be able to learn all that shit, that verbiage, shorten it down some. But it was a must that they had to learn every terminology, and they said the playbook was about as fucking big as was about as big as a presentation Bible.
Yeah.
You had to learn all that. So yeah, Lovey Smith is on the hot seat. Yo boy, number 5. Can't do it, prove it. Number 5.
That's definitely no shocker because can't do it. Pruitt has embarrassed himself losing to Georgia State, who recently got them a football team in the last, I think, 20, 25 years. They haven't had a football team very long at that university because the only thing that was at that university was baseball, track and field, and basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they lost to a team that has nowhere near the tradition up in Atlanta, nowhere near the tradition that fucking hell Morehouse have in football, much less Georgia Tech and all those other universities. Let's not talk about those motherfuckers. You lose to those motherfuckers. And then to top it off, you lose to BYU, Pepe Le Pew.
Well, now
You
wait a
lose.
minute. Now BYU, hold on. You been giving them a bad name. Now BYU, they still a respectable school now. I really think
They
though,
were
I really think Hold up.
hold on, nigga. Hold
Well,
on.
wait a minute. With the exception of the fact that they fought their way out of a damn good money making home and home with the University of Memphis in that exciting ass bowl game.
Hold, hold on. But here's the thing. Let's go to rivals.com. I'm going to go to rivals.com. Okay. Because we have to we're gonna be 100% of the we're gonna have 100% of the facts. I want to make sure I get this recruiting thing down off sheer osmosis. Let's see the 2000
I ain't saying nothing about the recruit. Excuse me.
Tennessee had a hell of a recruiting class. You know what I'm saying? Or they at least were in the top 30. Let me go to rivals.com team recruiting of
Mm-hmm.
2019. They were up there in hold on 2000 rivals because I'm gonna get on them the same way I got on Slick Willie. Because I want to make sure I'm accurate with this shit, so I can be team recruiting. I think I'm pulling it up. and that's not to take away BYU's tradition because they played the old Air Coryell system. They ran the old Air Coryell system for many years.
Yeah, they ain't running it now. They running I don't know what the fuck Satake got them running now. But Bronco Mendenhall, he kept his word. He stuck to the script. But he running that same BYU offense and RPO in Virginia though. Virginia just don't have a fucking quarterback.
Okay. The University of Tennessee recruiting class was ranked number 12 in the country in 2019. Let me find BYU's recruiting if I can find it, because it's probably gonna take a long time coming home. Okay, now you want to act an asshole. Come on. What do you know? Memphis is number 59, and I still can't find BYU. What the hell? How are you going to explain this? But nevertheless, are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Listening. Nevertheless, I'm strolling down. I can't find it for obvious reasons. How is you as a public institution, how are you going to lose to a team that I cannot find this damn motherfucker for some reason? But how are you going to be the number 12 recruiting class in the nation and lose to a team that I'm still strolling trying to find where their ranking is at in 2019? How is Tennessee going to explain that? I don't give a damn how good their coaching is, how good players that we may think they have. How are you going to lose to a team that is nowhere near the top 50 recruiting, much less the top 20? You have no excuses, just like the dude over at Florida State. You can't explain.
We're gonna get to him in a minute.
But we're gonna get on his ass because I got a lot to say about this motherfucker. But my thing is, Tennessee, Jeremy can't do it, Pruitt have no excuses. You have the number 12 recruiting class in the country, so you have the ability to compete. So if they fire him, good. I'm gonna love every minute of it because he's gonna deserve every minute of that. Hey, you got your termination papers. We're gonna pay you out, and we're gonna find another head coach. And that's what Tennessee should do, because when you lose to putty patrol of teams who do the putty dance, teams that do the putty dance throughout the team, in comparison to BYU, because BYU is one of the largest private institutions with 47,000 kids enrolled. However, they have academic standards that they have to meet to get in that school. So when you lose to a fucking private school who's not even in the top 100 on Rivals.com, BYU ain't even on the top 100 Rivals.com. And how do you lose to a team? How is they going to explain it? How is the University of Tennessee, how is Philip Fulmer, the AD, is going to explain losing to a team I can't even find on Rivals.com? Not even in the top 100. I can find Memphis before I find B.Y. Pepe Le Pew. So that's why I'm calling them B.Y. Pepe Le Pew right now. You're the number 12 recruiting class. Clemson, LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Michigan, Florida State, Miami, Auburn, Penn State are the only teams that's ahead of them in this fucking Rivals list. And how are they going to explain this? Those are the only teams that are ahead of Tennessee on the ranking circuit. How are they going to explain it? But this tell me how they're going to explain this. Come on, they can't. So that's my thing. That's my thing with teams. Just like Georgia Pest. They lost to fucking the Citadel, a team that, hell, Katy High School out here in the Houston metropolitan area have more kids than fucking the Citadel. Citadel has 3,150 students at the Citadel. How the fuck you gonna lose to a fucking military school with 3,100?
But did you see that retweet I sent you? And you know, and that was big of Jeff Collins to say, "Hey, this loss on me."
I get it. I mean, I respect the fact that he took his L. However, that L is fucking inexcusable. Yes, as far as a philosophical side of what this man had just said, I respect him holding that L as a man. You know, this is my fault. Don't come after my players. That's very admirable of that individual. However, you still lost to a team that Katy High School got more kids. Hell, goddamn, Wheatley High School up in Fifth Ward got more kids than the fucking Citadel. How the fuck y'all lose to them motherfuckers? How they gonna explain? How they gonna explain it? They got and Coach Sheldon. I know I took your line, but hey, I'm so disappointed at this right now. How is it that this school, even though it's a military school and it's classified as a public school, there are private parts of that school to where the general public, including certain students, unless they're a part of the military corps, be involved in that school. There's privatized. So basically, they may as well be a fucking private school as far as I'm concerned. But how the fuck they gonna lose to a fucking one of the 6 military schools, which 2 of them are, you know, big name schools, but they don't have, you know, nowhere near the academic standards as the Citadel and the privatizing of as the Citadel. So how they gonna how you gonna explain that? They, you know, come on, Georgia Tech. You want big college football to come back to Atlanta? Recruit better, because everybody's stealing your people, including Tennessee, including the University of Georgia, including those border states that's just stealing y'all shit, and the University of Alabama. Shout out to them stealing them motherfuckers. Because if you ain't gonna act right with the Atlanta people, we'll steal a few.
Stop recruiting, and also stop recruiting out of position.
Exactly, and not just that. Alabama gonna steal some people from Florida as well. So shout out to Alabama for taking all their best recruits so they can't do a damn thing. But Georgia Tech, you're gonna have to recruit better, and you're gonna have to coach a lot better. You know, because if not, you're gonna be up out of there losing to the Citadel, the fucking Citadel. How it is just so disappointing.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna move on to number 4, which is a question. Justin Fuente.
I can see that.
Okay, but I can also see him if Pruitt were to get the axe. I would not be surprised if Tennessee go after him because he can recruit. Because I'm tell you something. The advantage for Fuente, if he go to Tennessee, he got to recruit his ass off.
Well, the accessibility of the border states will if you can't recruit at Tennessee, if you can't get the team at least in the top 30, you don't need to be the head coach. And that's the reason why I was so pissed off at Bitch Davis having those top 5 recruiting classes and couldn't even get to the championship. Couldn't even get to the SEC championship, much less. They can't even get to the fucking SEC championship. If you lose to Alabama, which from the looks of it, Tennessee's going to lose to the 13th straight year to Alabama, and I have no problem with losing to Alabama. Because you know, I respect Nick Saban as a head coach. You know, I don't hate Alabama at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really hate them compared to most of my rivals. I don't hate them at all. But
there you go.
It looks like they're gonna lose. They look like they finna lose for the 13th straight, 15th. I don't give a damn. They finna lose for however consecutive times they done lost. But Bitch Davis had no excuses. He had top 5 recruiting classes. Pruitt is recruiting in the top 15. And even with that, you should not be losing to Georgia on my mind state and BY Pepe Le Pew. And I say that in comparison to Tennessee, who has the ability should be able to have the funds to recruit more than fucking BYU and Georgia State put together. You know what I'm saying? So Pruitt needs his ass whooped. I'm just gonna keep it 1,010. He needs his entire ass whooped. So.
Okay, so Fuente, I can see it too. I definitely can see this number 3 here because I'm sick of his ass. Will Muschamp, South Carolina, sick of him.
You know what? Yeah, that's
man. I'm sick of him for reading. He always got Actually, because when he was Auburn's defensive coordinator, man was blowing a gasket, yelling and shit, getting all on the field. Even Gus Malzahn had one of the players, and it was one of the games, man. Malzahn was trying to pull the man back. He pushed Malzahn out the way. Then one of the damn players basically jacked his ass up and told him, man, get your ass back in the field, man. If you get us some more penalties. He's always a fired up coach, individual dude, and then be cussing all on live TV, all up in the players' faces, shit. And I understand it is intensity, you want to win, but dude, you come on, man. All that intensity ain't gonna equal you a good job. Now he had 2 good winning seasons. That's when he was down there in Florida. I mean, that was it. But and then after that, they was the shits. But him in South Carolina right now, no, they ain't been the same since Steve Spurrier had left. So
Yeah, and Lou Holtz built the South Carolina program, and then Spurrier came in and had them competing in the SEC championship a couple of times. And South Carolina is another one of those teams that are very unfortunate as well because Clemson takes all the top talent, right? Taking all the top talent out of South Carolina. Florida State does as well, and a lot of they're a victim of being in the SEC. Georgia takes a few defensive linemen out of the state, so but Will Muschamp is, again, this is a team that recruits in the top 30, sometimes top 20, if they're lucky. So again, he ain't got no excuses either. So I can see why he's people finna give him the 86. So it is what it is when it comes to South Carolina. Who's number 2 on that list?
go on and talk about him.
Mm,
Slick Willie.
this dude right here, and I'm disappointed in my boy Slick Willie because I want to see this dude succeed. But uh, as a matter of fact, South Carolina's number 17 on Rivals. But back to my point with Slick Willie. Slick Willie needs every bit of his ass kicked. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm just very disappointed. Florida State right now should be 3-0 and not 2-1, 1-2 right now. So Slick Willie, you know, if you don't make no bowl game, you're finna be up out of there. You're finna be up out of there. If you don't make no major move or have the upset of the year against Clemson, which right now the Clemson robber is looking real lopsided right now in favor of Clemson. Uh, so I mean, this ain't a good look for Florida State right now. This ain't a good look for Slick Willie, and I'm very disappointed in Slick Willie right now. I'm just very disappointed, and I can see why he's on the hot seat. So it is what it is, brother.
Oh, and number one, and like we give 2 shits about him. Shit Kelly in UCLA.
Hmm. How is he gonna be in probably the third best state in terms of talent? Maybe number 2, give or take, because Florida got the best talent. But you could argue between Texas and California easily. Uh, so how is it that you're in the beauty of the you're in the beauty of California and you can't recruit, whereas when you was at Oregon, you was getting top talent out of this very same state, as well as recruiting in Texas
They
under
don't have the
Adrian.
back in the Nike U. That's why UCLA don't.
But still, he still, because he got all of Los Angeles County to
Mm-hmm.
recruit name guys. He don't, so that ain't no excuse. Then you got San Diego County, Ventura County. So you got all those little spots before you, and you can't do your thing up there. So you can't say it's the talent level because that's not an excuse out there. And you know, yes, he had the backing of Nike at Oregon, and had probably the best offense in college, one of the best offenses in college history with the speed, no huddle, spread offense. That he he for the most part, other than Nick Foles and Michael Vick doing well in that offense, he failed miserably in the NFL with that offense. So Pink Slip Kelly, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Pink Slip Kelly. It looks like he's gonna get another pink slip. So it is what it is.
What it is. And that, peoples, is the end of tonight's Let's Draw on Something, because let's just, man, go and put this final signature on this. And that is it. So, despite audio problems, y'all, on my end tonight, peoples, and along with Jimmy JSmoove joining us in late. Be sure to catch Jimmy JSmoove as he talk about his topic, what he was stating while I had to go to the porcelain throne for a second with that water break. Out in that, who once again, like thank my co-host, my boy out to 901, born and raised in 901. He's getting ready to make some big time moves in the 832. Y'all will know how he do. My boy Jimmy JSmoove. This is Craig L. Smith II, and we're out.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Damn. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.